Well, welcome to the Effortless Clients Interactive slash online workshop. I am Kyle, and it's a great pleasure to be able to host this workshop for you all. And this is to how to receive more clients without being needy, even if you feel like you've already communicated your offer so you can fulfill your purpose from flow. So, is it okay if we get straight into it? Cool, great. I'm just going to share my screen. Great. Okay, here we go. Let me know if you can see my screen. Sure you can. So, all right. So first things first, before we jump into this, I want to get a quick show of hands or even in the chat. I'm assuming you're downloading this or you're on this workshop because you struggle with getting consistent clients. Does that sound like you? Yep, great. And also you may feel like your offer is great, but people aren't just buying. Is that also you? Awesome. But there's this part of you inside of you that feels like you're operating from this place of being needy. You're operating from this place of like survival, and then you feel like you can't communicate from a place of flow inside of you. So you end up not receiving those clients without effort, right? Cool, excellent. So this is perfect for you then. So before we get into the actual workshop itself, I want to run through a couple logistics, permission, and obviously disclaimer. And you can either put your hand up in the chat or you can show of hands or whatever you feel called to do. So is it okay to use models? If I need to, great. To coach you, great. To call you on your shit, great. To talk really fast, sometimes really slow, excellent. And to ask a lot of questions and read from a slide, great. And last part, share how you can get more help if you want it. Is that okay? Excellent, great. And disclaimers are I may trigger you, I may swear, say things out of context, go on rabbit holes or tangents. I'll keep it precise, be weird, and be my unapologetic self. Is that okay? Awesome. Well, that's not really okay. It's just a disclaimer I'd share with everyone watching, including yourself. And those that are watching from home who are getting the replay to this. Now, so the reason I created this workshop was basically one of two reasons for my own learning experience, but also the fact that I was struggling to receive clients and I was forcing so much effort and being needy and being too salesy, which can support some people, but also can deter other people, which at the end of the day, I don't really care. I mean, if they're the right client, they'll fall into my lap. And if they're the wrong client, they won't work with me and not align with me. But most importantly, many purpose-driven coaches and leaders, entrepreneurs, humans feel called to serve, yet struggle to consistently receive aligned clients. As one thing I've noticed is that whether you're running big companies, whether you're running corporate companies, whether you're running your own business, where you're starting out, is that they don't necessarily receive the most aligned clients. What happens is you'll work with them, all of a sudden they'll pull out of the services you're working with. You don't know why because there's been a part of you that hasn't owned up to the authentic side of yourself. And there's also been a part of you that has struggled to receive from those clients in whatever lessons, whatever growth they're providing you with. So that's the struggle that I find consistently shows up in leaders is they have struggles with actually attaining them on a long-term basis. Now, this workshop shows it in a different way. Now, what I mean by that is you'll learn that throughout this workshop of how it actually shows it in a different way through not what you're doing, but how you're being. So the problem most coaches face is that they're repeating offers without response. So with that, they're actually repeating offers that don't get responses, don't get feedback from, which then they'll go and create, which in turn they will waste time of promoting offers that people don't buy. And this is something I've learned harshly from for many, many times. And there's like this sense of feeling needy or pushy in sales. Now, I'm guilty as charged when it comes to this. I mean, some of my content is very, very triggering for me, even some aspects, and I still get the growth from it though. Because we learn as we grow, as we build businesses, and we learn from our mistakes and failures, and we move on from that. And what I find is leaders that are entrepreneurs, leaders, or coaches that are in the healing space or that are wanting to change the world and change and support people is that they often have this belief inside of them where they doubt themselves, whether the people actually want what they offer, and that's generally based off a core wound. So the core wound is because of an unworthiness, you feel not good enough. You may not, you'll think that people would judge you based on what you're offering, when in reality, you are the best thing that can walk into their life. You are the gift that allows them to receive the gift, even when you don't see it in yourself. And the truth about clients is clients don't respond to pressure. Some do, which in turn leads them to pulling out of offers, which in turn leads them to feeling like they were pushed into the sale. And I've learned this so harshly from offers, from clients, and it bites you in the bum. Clients respond to clarity, your energy, and the way you conduct yourself in leadership. Because if you're responding to people, if you're sharing things with people and it's not coming from a place of clarity within inside of yourself of who you're here to serve, well, people don't know who you're here to actually be. People don't know what you do, which is where the energy comes into place, where the tone of delivery and leadership comes into place as well. And when these align, clients come naturally to you and for you based off your energetic frequency. If you're in a position where you're raising your energetic frequency, if you're wanting to support mums, if you're wanting to support families, if you're wanting to help with relationships or help just the earth itself, and you're coming from a place where your energy isn't matched to that frequency you're wanting to support, those clients can't find you. They'll feel you instead. So if you're coming from a low energetic frequency, the clients you're serving are coming from that place as well. So when you're coming from a higher energetic frequency, those clients will come to you and it'll be a whole different experience in the sales process. Now, the hidden pattern is what I've found countless times again after working in the sales industry for over a decade and transacting over $1 million in platform sales is that the hidden pattern most people come from is actually communicating information instead of communicating the results people are going to get from that information, whether it's intangible or tangible. And they don't communicate leadership as the result. They don't communicate leadership and the result. So this in turn plays out. This in turn obviously doesn't allow the client to see the result of working with you long term. Clients move when they feel certainty and conviction. So when they feel a level of certainty and conviction within your delivery, they'll start to move. And if you're not doing that, you're losing clients. Definitely holler, holler for that one. So what I want to do is run through the core principles, but before I do that, does anyone have any questions in the chat? Any shares I'd like to um, share what they're taking away from this so far? Okay, cool, great, very good. Any shares so far? Any questions? If not, it's okay. We can move on. Yeah, of course. That makes sense. Completely speaking to your brain. And sometimes your brain can comprehend this and then unconsciously it gets embedded into your body as well. So as mentioned, when you are invested in this workshop, there's going to be some principles I'm going to go through that allow you to understand a bit more about like what it is that people buy and how it becomes effortless. And so you're not actually coming from a place of neediness, you're coming from a place of flow and energy inside of you. So the first one is alignment. Now, alignment is being, from my understanding, and from I can pull up the dictionary, but I'm not going to do that today, this evening. Alignment is when you know inside of yourself, like there's a line within inside of yourself that you feel, whether you connect it from your brain, your heart, or your body, you know that you're going in the right direction. It's like an inner knowing. Like you know intuitively that that person is for you, that community is for you. I'm sure you've probably done it with coaches, with mentors you've previously invested in, that there's alignment there, whatever you're providing to the people. And when your offer is aligned with your purpose, it becomes a conversation of not if or but when they start working with you. And your communication becomes effortless. So communicate from a place that's so in alignment with your purpose, it's so integral, it's so convicted and so confident, people have no objections for you. They simply be like, yep, I would love to work with you. And sometimes people put up the smoke screen of the money, of what will happen next, the time, whatever it is. But if it's truly someone really yearns for and they want to create change in the world, they'll make it happen, no matter what it is. People will then feel it from you. Because with that alignment, they will then feel the alignment. And the second principle is energetic authority. Now, what I mean by energetic authority, it's again coming back to the frequency. You've heard of David Hawkins' frequency, like consciousness of frequency. So I'll quickly show you what that uh looks like if you haven't seen it before, but I'm assuming you have. So the frequency. And if you haven't seen it, I urge you to give a bit of research, but I'm going to show you a model that allows you to understand it on a different level. So you can see my screen. Cool. So this is David Hawkins' map of consciousness. So you've got, I'll just show like you've got all the different, it's a very detailed model. But what you'll notice is that if your energetic frequency is not to the point, if you're operating from a survival response, so for example, you're still working on yourself, you're still uncovering parts of you that you haven't alchemized, then the clients you attract are going to be at the same energetic frequency. And it's okay to be at that frequency because you have to alchemize the both of them. You have to alchemize the lower frequencies in order to get to the higher frequencies and also still be with those emotions. But if you're constantly operating from a survival paradigm, you're constantly going to attract those clients. Whereas if you look at reason integrity, where courage is, that's like a medium level. So you're going to get clients that have pride in what they do, that have courage, that basically see the empowerment in what you do. They see the initiation in what you do. And then when you move up to the map of consciousness, you would then have clients that would say love. So it's like a spiritual paradigm. For example, I've had clients in the past that say, "Hey, I would love to work with you." So that tells me that I'm in alignment with my energetic frequency of my authority because in a loving way to accept that work with you. Does that make sense? Great. Now we'll just go back. Okay, cool. So, energetic authority. So, client feels the difference between asking and leading. So, if you're asking them like an invitation and leading them, they would generally come to a conclusion whether it's a yes or a no. Whereas if you're telling them without showing them, they won't know what to expect. Telling is not selling, showing is. So, for example, I remember, is it okay if I share a quick story? Cool. So, I remember there was a time when I had a client on a sales call and we got her problems, we got what she wanted, we got like basically her goals and her desires. And I was telling her all these things. I was telling her about, oh, I offer this, I do this and support you to benefit what the service was. And she just wasn't understanding it in some aspect. And then I decided to show her the model that I created, which then allowed her to see the visual representation of the work we do together. Now, this was over a 3 month period. Like this is the core of was over a 3 month period. But initially, I showed her, and then it allowed her to understand what the metrics was. So I wasn't actually telling, I was showing her. So that's the difference between asking, like telling and selling, and difference between asking and leading as opposed to just showing them. And authority attracts the right people you are meant to serve. So there's different levels of authenticity, which I actually do have another masterclass that I ran, would have been over a year ago, which is available on my YouTube channel, around like the levels of authenticity. So you're more than welcome to check that out. That is, my YouTube channel is Kyle Neil Current, which this will be uploaded to that. That's a building progress itself, which is like a masterclass to help you communicate authentically. Um, and the final core principle is actually having a clear invitation. So people need a clear path to work with you. So what I've found is in the past, I've been really airy-fairy when it comes to what I offer people. And I haven't really been solid in my core offer. And what I've recognized is that since running events and supporting events, people have to have a clear paradigm into what you provide them, whether it's a three-step process, whether it's a pyramid scheme, whether it's just two offers, whatever it is, there have to be a clear aligned pathway for them. So for example, people come to my event, they then they'll come to my speaking event, communicate, like share, connect, and then I'm in the process of molding and creating a 3-day workshop and also collaborating with someone a 2-day training workshop. And then I invite them to a core offer. Does that make sense? Cool. And this one's an interesting one. How many times have you been confused in what you're doing? A little bit. Whether you're being a mum, whether you're looking after children, whether you're running a business, whatever you're doing, there's obviously times where you're confused. And this is something that I've had to extremely navigate myself. So confusion kills momentum. If you're confused all the time, then so are your clients. Then so is your branding, then so is your social media. So I'm in a space, I'll be very vulnerable right now. I'm in a space right now where I I know what I stand for. I know I remember who I am, yet I've been so confused because I've been taking on other voices and not listening to my own. Listen to my own soul, listen to my own spirit. So by me confusing, I've been killing my own momentum. Whereas now I'm pretty certain, pretty convicted in who I'm here to serve. Now it's to keep the momentum going. This is definitely a error on the slides. Let me just fix that up. See, we can be unapologetically ourselves. Doesn't matter what it is. Okay, cool. So I know when you would have registered, you would receive this information. But if you want to take note of this, if you have a panel, you can just ask me for the replay. I can send it through to you. Um, so the effortless client framework. So first is clarity of offer. So can I ask you, Teresa, if you want to unmute, do you have a clear offer for people?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
Um, in my Arbonne online business.
Yep.
Yeah, so I have a clear offer. And all that kind of stuff. So that's pretty much what I'm working on and why I'm taking this today.
Yep. Okay, cool.
So
Yep. So
yeah, it's like all direct. It's just pretty much attracting the right people to come into the business.
yeah, that's what you're struggling with right now.
Yeah,
Yeah, okay. So do you have any clients currently?
yeah, I do. I have clients and it's building. It's just attracting more and ones that want to pretty much lead.
Yep.
Haven't really found leaders as much. They
Okay.
kind of more, you know what I mean?
Yeah, you're in
So
this.
the framework's done for it. It's just finding and attracting the right people into the business that can take it to the next step, you know?
Yeah, of
Because it's
course. Yeah.
we're marketing, so it's like, yeah.
That's a whole different boy. You got to switch up the marketing as well. So you've got the clarity on the offer. What is your offer, if you don't mind me asking?
So products, selling products and um selling the business. It's just a really cheap business, and then it's like, yeah. So it's like selling the products and selling the business.
Okay, cool. Okay, cool. So you're sort of clear on that. It's just aligning the right clients with leaders that are wanting
Yeah.
to. Okay,
The business and the model and everything's there. It's just getting people to join the team
hmm
and be part of it, which is an amazing community. But it's just people, I suppose, being ready
Yeah.
and it's a lot. It's a big shift for a lot of people because it's so different to the 9 to 5. It's a whole different lifestyle and stuff like that. And some people aren't ready for that, so it's just attracting the right people that are ready. And I find that in like I could say it was my area,
Mhm.
but then again, there's people that live in small rural areas that are doing fantastic. Like their sales are just like off the radar. And we've got the internet and stuff. So it's definitely probably about frequency and making sure that I'm attracting that. Like I definitely see that quantum, that frequency is definitely probably where I need to be shifting.
Yeah. And that happens over time. The more you dive into the inner work, and it'll just constantly
Yeah.
keep raising. You'll notice that I noticed that within myself as well, because I was rating at a certain frequency. I wasn't actually raising and I was just dropping back down to it.
Mm.
But it's with when you can alchemize that, then you can start to begin to attract those right people. So the
Yeah,
first
and
one,
not limiting myself.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. So the first one is obviously clutter off, which you already have, which is great. The second one is embodied authority. So
Mm.
when you can come from this place where you share whether what is if it's a product-based business or if people are watching and they're catching the replay or they're watching online, like I would love to hear your thoughts in the comments as well. Is like, what is your clear offer? Do you have a clear offer or is it not there? And if it's not there, I would love to have a further conversation. But more importantly, the next phase is embodied authority. So embodied authority is basically the term embodiment is like the physical existence. And you got to embody the authority you have to share your offer. And that shares from experience, whatever it is for you. So if you're not leveraging your authority, it's probably why you're not attracting the right clients. And the last piece is a direct invitation. I mean, I take it you would directly invite people into working with you.
Yes.
Yeah, okay, cool. So as long as it can be direct, it can be soft depending on the person. There's a whole different dynamic in how people buy, like emotion versus logic. There's four different personality types. There's so much more involved in the psychology and energetics around sales and consumer psychology that you have to have a direct invitation that caters for all those level of buyers. And this is something that it's an ever-going journey. And it's something I had to be consciously aware of when I was working in the sales industry of the person I would be speaking to on the phone. So, for example, I'd be able to pick up within the first 30 seconds if there was someone that was going to buy or not. And then I'd have someone listening in, like a new person, I'd be like, what the hell happened? Like, they just bought. Like, I said to them right at the start, I was like, this person's going to buy. It was because of the way they're responding to me, but you got to be mindful of having that direct invitation for them.
Mm.
So clarity of offer, embodied authority, direct invitation, consistent visibility. So we show up in online spaces, whether it's in person, whether it's online, whether it's in rooms, you got to have consistent visibility in who you are and you as a human behind the product. Because what people are craving right now in the world is connection, is this vulnerability, is this thing that's behind the AI, the human that's behind the business, which is why I created the speaker event. Another reason why I have this big mission from my personal experience of creating this movement of vulnerable, connectable leaders, because people are craving it right now. And the more you can show up online to be annoying, as my marketing lady says to me today, you want to just be so annoying, people will see you. And if you're just starting, like if you're watching this and you're just starting, I would recommend the biggest thing I find in entrepreneurs, in leaders, is actually this procrastination that plays out. So if you just make a start, whether it's one content a day, one piece of content, doesn't have to be anything big, anything, just make a start. That's going to build a momentum. Sometimes it doesn't really matter what you say. So people would be like, oh, this person is weird. This person is, I want to know what this person, I'm curious about knowing more. The human behavior is the two main primary emotions people lead from are curiosity and compassion. Are the two primary human things. So if someone sees you, whether you post a video of yourself, whether you post a content, what a piece of content, whatever it is, just make a start. Allow them to be curious. Now, I think you're ready. You may. I'm just gonna run. Do you have you've got your offer, right?
Mm.
Yep. What's the product of your offer?
The products, we sell skincare, um, we sell health products,
Okay. I might
and yeah,
actually,
makeup and all that kind of things.
yeah, I might be able um to connect you with a person. It's actually my this is just um yeah, I've got a friend of a friend. I got a friend's daughter who's got a big influence online and she does similar
Yeah.
stuff and she's got like 250,000 followers.
Yeah, cool.
So I can
What?
connect you with
Yeah.
her
Yeah.
to help you sort of build that as because that's going to help you with your authority as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. But so your offer is skincare products. Okay, cool. So you got a clear offer.
And the business, it's in network marketing, so and the business sales, you know.
Yep, Yep, that's cool. Yeah, a lot of businesses do network marketing. So what I want you to do if you can you write your offer in one clear sentence or have you already done that?
Yeah, I've got all that. That's all that's I've got all that. It's just more me
Hmm.
um getting over my circumstances and pushing forward. Like, you know, me being tired, me being like you know, I just have to pretty much be, I think maybe looking at the bigger picture of not being so narrow-minded of my clientele.
Okay, yeah. Okay,
You
so
know
it's
what I
just
mean? Like, yes,
yeah.
right now I'm looking at mums and I'm looking at this, but I was once a young person. I was like, you know, like you know, there's so many different aspects of me that I'm not focusing on that can reach those clients. The different personalities of me, the different things I've done. Like I've kind of narrowed it down to where I've been, which,
Yeah.
like, you know, like mums with bubs, which is not all mums with bubs are really interested, you know what I mean? But I've kind of limited it to that right now, where I need to open my mind up and have
Okay.
think about the bigger audience that I have to share it with.
Yep. Okay, cool. Yeah, that makes sense. And it's like you're sharing your story from that aspect and also being able to open yourself up to more possibilities.
Yeah, because it's quite narrow-minded at the moment because it's just where I'm at in this stage of life, but there's been many stages of life.
Hmm.
So
Yep,
I
that
need
makes
to
sense.
just like look at that. Yeah.
Cool. So you've got the clear offer. So what's the problem you solve then?
The problem I solve,
Yeah.
finance, having more finances,
Hmm.
having better health and nutrition and wellness, you having clear skin, like clear products and stuff like that, like clear, clean, organic products.
Okay. And why should I come to you for clear organic products? Like what's the reason?
Because ours are B Corp, which is the best in the world, and we are leading in the world in B Corp.
That's like that's the actual that's like the product itself, right?
Get the product, and for the business, there's a possibility to work towards having an uncapped income.
Yep. Yep. So what's the
And
benefit? What's the benefit of having a product that's B Corp leading in the world? What's the benefit of that?
We have the most, we have the, sorry, Huey, don't. We have the cleanest products, which means we are feeding our systems with the best of the best.
Okay. Okay,
Poison.
cool. And who
Poison.
is it for?
For anybody,
Yep.
we have all ages and all ranges.
Cool.
No one can take. No one. Okay.
So you already do this anyways. I think you're ready. So if you're watching, like if you have an offer, client communication, so a quick exercise will only take like 5 minutes. If you're with someone or you feel called to share it, I would offer you to share offer as a leader to someone that you know potentially will buy it. And the one thing that generally comes up for people in this is they get so afraid or they fear judgment or they procrastinate based off based off their own wounds they haven't healed within themselves. And when you can just share from if you have the offer to help people, well then share it. And then what you should notice is when you do that, you feel the energy inside of you. Like notice what is different with that energy. So because, for example, Teresa, you've got a specific product core offer, uh, you would then one thing right I think right now is you've got a blockage of like expanding that to more. So what can tend to happen is that you wouldn't feel the energy as per right now because you've got to increase that within yourself. So when you can start to raise that and start to start to sort of be that, you can then start to feel the energy shift, which makes sense to exactly where you're at the moment. So now, how clients actually arrive. So when alignment, authority, and invitation meet, that's when they come through your awareness. So, for example, we connected in a container together, which is how you come into my awareness, likewise, many other individuals. And it's something I used to disown is like actually receiving clients from other areas that I wasn't thinking of because I was just so focused on my business, so focused on online and sharing as opposed to inviting people. And
Yep.
then when clients feel safe to move. So when someone doesn't feel safe to move, it's generally because they don't feel safe by you, because of your nervous system, or they don't feel safe in their nervous system to move and make a decision. I learned this actually the other night with a sales call where she was giving me all the right answers when it come to the price. She was bringing up false, like they didn't feel like there were real objections. Like I knew she had the money. I knew she could make the space and time. It's just there was a level of safety and trust I didn't create in that call that I'm now like, great, fuck yes, let's move on to the next. Like whereas last night after the call, tend to beat myself up a little bit, but now I'm like, okay, let's celebrate. She's not obviously aligned for me. So it's allowing your clients to feel safe even before their clients, potential clients. And that happens when you create your own safety. When it's safe to feel the emotions, when it's safe to receive a certain amount of money, when it's safe to share from this place of vulnerability you feel like you're so afraid to share from. Now, your next level. I feel like this is very synchronistic. I'm getting soul bumps right now. If anyone watching as well, soul bumps are like goosebumps, like a feeling. And if you're watching this, you're watching at a perfect time. Whatever you're watching this, it's a perfect time for you to be watching this right now. Purpose requires people. So without any, like, if we lead from a place and we have no purpose, we just scattered in what we're doing in the world. We're just like, oh, I fucking don't feel any why. What's the why? Like, what's the go with this? Like, why am I doing this? What's the intention? I'm this age for this reason. So it requires people to be around you, to support you, to connect with you, to show you pieces of yourself you haven't healed, and also to point the reflection of your journey, of what you're becoming, of what you're transmuting. And your work deserves to be received. Many people, including myself, have disowned that part, have not wanted people to receive it because I felt unworthy, because I felt I was not good enough. I felt like the world was out to get me, yet the message I have to share creates change in people. So your work deserves to be received. Whether you've done a ton of modality work, whether you've done certifications, whether you've done the courses, the uni degree, your work deserves to be received by those who really want it. By the world, not just people, by the world. Because we aren't here to play small, we're here to play big, and that scares the shit out of me sometimes. And I'm like, all right, let's go with this feeling. It's normal. Now, I want to sort of, what am I doing? Where am I going? No, 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 no. So firstly, before we finish up, it's actually went under time than what I expected. Do you have any questions for me? Any key takeaways?
No, this has been excellent. Hey, thank you. Oh, like this is great. My brain's received it, and it's just so balanced and logic and excellent.
Yeah,
And
cool.
I feel like I've needed this grounding and everything that you have got in here. after like just after everything that I've been going through. This is so grounding just to remember this because it's already in me, but to remember this. So it's like, yep, ready to go. So it's like kind of being really grounding to be like, yep, awesome, let's go.
Okay, cool. And what did you love about this workshop?
The whole thing. And you being able to transmute all the information so clearly and honestly and vulnerable.
Mm. Cool, I
And
appreciate that.
I received it all so good. Like I feel so grounded from this,
Excellent.
especially out of coming out of a container a few days ago. I mean, to be grounded again and to get on track, like I, I've been so full on recovering from that. I'm to get back into work. It's like, where do I start? So, it's just like so you take in so much information and you are working on so many different dimensions that coming into this workshop has helped me, yeah, ground and be like, okay, I'm ready to get out there and work and network and meet people and raise my frequency, open up my ability to reach different people and get into it. So thank you very much. I appreciate it.
That's okay. I love that. And it's beautiful to hear. Beautiful to hear a live testimonial, and I'll be asking for more of that. And what did so you love? What did you learn?
Um, well, I have learned a lot of like pretty much a lot of what you have said. So it would be just pretty much bringing it to the forefront of my mind.
Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
that's
So
cool.
yeah, just it's more for me. It's about remembering.
Yeah,
So yeah, like yeah. But the way that I suppose I've learned to receive it, I'm receiving it from you in a different way because it's like one thing to learn it yourself, but to receive it from somebody else's experience. So I've learned that, like to receive it from where you're coming from, which is a whole different thing because it's a different perspective. So it's like awesome. Like, yep, that's great. So yeah. And
yeah,
yeah, so you get what I'm saying, eh?
yeah. I do. I understand. Yeah, that makes sense. Great takeaways. And if you're watching this in the replay, I'd love to find out your key takeaways and what you loved and what you learned about it in the comments below. And it would be an honor to be able to hear that from you. I always love to hear people's feedback and reflections. Now, if you feel called to this, this is the part where I invite you. Is that okay?
Yep.
Yeah, okay, cool. So if you feel called to deepen the work on your mission, on who you're here to serve, on your bigger product, and sort of open your capacity with more possibilities,
Mm-hmm.
there's opportunities to continue the journey. It's what I
Mm-hmm.
help individuals, leaders support in, is allowing them to share their message with the world, but also put it in a format that gives them that opportunity to get those solo line clients.
Yeah.
So we'll go. That's pretty much it. But would you be open for a further conversation?
Yeah, I'll be open for a further conversation. Yep.
Yeah, awesome, great. And anyone else watching this, please reach out. Happy to have a quick chat for you as well. Um, now that's basically the workshop. I'm going to stop sharing my screen and stop the recording. How do I stop the recording? Stop.